Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jack, and this is system number 4 in our AI Roulette Blueprint module. So this one is completely different than anything I've shown you. This one is works on a completely different basis, and because of that, I had to switch the simulator because the other simulator that I give you guys, and I'll put this one in the link. I like this one as well. And the reason I have to use this simulator is because this is a reduction strategy, meaning that we're going to be taking off individual bets as opposed to taking off the full everything that's out there from the last one. And the other one will not let me take off individual bets. So this is a split strategy. And we're calling it split reduction. So this one is a great strategy. I think it may be a little bit more volatile than the others. I don't know. I'm not sure that that's really the case. Maybe I just feel that way automatically when I use inside bets. And that's very true. You may test this and say, Jack, you're out of your mind. This isn't as volatile. And that's why you have to test these things. So it's really cool. What you're going to do is we're not playing the dozens and the columns or the even money bets. We're going to be using splits, which cover two numbers, and they're 17 to 1. That's how they pay. So it doesn't matter which ones you choose. Obviously, if you're playing this on a live table, you're going to have to remember the ones that you've already pulled off, so you're probably going to have to have a little notepad. But if you do this on the electronic, you're going to be doing it the same way that I am, so it's going to be simple. But if you're going to do this on a live table, like on a cruise ship or something like that, you're probably going to want to do it more like this, so that it's easy to remember. So the first time we'll do it so that it's exactly like this. All right? And we're going to be doing 15 splits. So that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what I did this time was I just went across. And look, they're not overlapping. Do not overlap, right? Because the whole point of this is that you're doing 15 of these. 15 cover 30 numbers, right? So you're covering 30 out of the 38. All right? Out of the 38. Now, I know you're going to ask me this. Can one of them be the zeros? Absolutely. The zeros, as I've been yelling and screaming about, are no different than anything else. And we'll cover the double zero and the zero on one of these. But I wanted to show you the basic. That's all you're doing is 15 splits. You can jump these around any way you want. I'm showing it like this because if you're playing on a live table, it's a little bit easier to jot down which ones that you're going to be reducing. So let's just do this, and I'll show you the way that it kind of works out. Okay? So let me make sure you guys can see. This simulator, I'll put the link to this in the description. It's a little different here, the way that it shows you your totals and things like that, right? So the bet is obviously $15 if you're playing with dollar units. Obviously, it's $7.50 or whatever if you're playing with 50 cents. So you can play this at any level, but you do have to have the right bankroll. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how this thing works. Okay, so there's a win, right? So you can see here, right, that we won $3. We're up $3 here, right? We're up $3. So what'll happen is we restart now. Now, well, we don't restart. That's not the correct word. So we're going to rebet, and the number was 8. So we're going to do a reduction. So you see how the 8 and the 11 are here. So as we win, we're going to reduce. So we're going to click on the delete button, and that goes away. Okay, so some of these you're going to have an X, and you're going to click on the X, and it's going to take it off. on the electronic, you'll learn how that works. All right. We're up $3. Now, the first thing I want you to understand with this system that's very different than the others we've shown you is that you don't make a lot of money on a single hit. But the reality is, as we're reducing these and you're getting hits, you'll see the number of what we make goes up because we're making it with less of a bet, with less out there, right? So now we've reduced by that 1 unit. And here we go. All right, we won again. So this time it was on 27.30. So we're going to rebet, and we're going to click on this delete button, and we're going to take the 27.30 off. Now, you saw that we won $4 on that one. Okay, so where is the stopping point? The stopping point is when we would be less than 10. That's when we stop. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. When we would have less than 10 is where we restart the whole process. Okay, so let's just keep going. We reduced by taking the 27.30 off, and let's spin. All right, that's a loss. So we need to understand what we do on a loss. So this is one of those few times that we are going to do a double up. Yes, that dreaded thing that I don't like, a double up money management. All right. And the only reason I allow it is because we have such great coverage, right? So we have nothing to reduce, and now we're going to double. Now on the first time, remember, a double is just the same as putting in one more unit on each. So you're not going to use this double button more than once, because after that first time, you've got to go and put 1, 1, 1 like that. So here we go. So now you see that this is very different than the other ones. Because of how much we're betting, when we have a loss, it does take us down, right? So let's go ahead and see if we can have a win. All right, and we do. So this time it's on the 14.17, right? And we're back up money again. So we're going to rebet, and we're going to remove, click on delete, and remove 14.17, right? So now we're up $4, right? So now where are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're going to spin. And notice that we're not going back down to the single bets. We're not going to reduce until we restart. All right, that's another win. It's on the 7.10. Click on delete, remove the 7.10. And again, now we're up $16. So I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to beat this like I always do. My mini games for this, okay, are about $25 to $30 if you're playing with $1 units. So I should say units. So 25 to 30 range, and that's a session for me. 20 to 30 units of whatever you're playing. Okay? So did we remove that? We did. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 right now. Okay? So here's the deal. And this is another thing you're going to have to test to see what makes you feel comfortable. We are at we are on the second tier level, right? We're betting $2. All right? You're going to have to test to see how comfortable you are. If you find that it makes you nervous to play at the higher level because there's more uncovered areas now, you can go back to the $1 level as you get deeper into getting down to a restart. So you can do that if you want, right? So how would that look? Now, I don't normally do that with this system, but I'm going to show you what that would look like. So if you did not want to play for $2, now that we have so much less, you can do the delete, and you can put these back to 1, right? delete. Whoops, that's not it. And go back to 1. Delete. Just so you can see what it feels like, right? Delete. And go back to 1. Delete. Just so we can see what it looks like, all right? And basically what you're doing by doing that is you're basically guaranteeing yourself that if you run into a problem and you get a few misses, you're starting from the base instead of above that. And that's just something you can test. Most of the time, you should feel comfortable playing this system straight out and not going down, especially if you're only on level 2 bets. If you're higher than that, well, that's a different story. But if you're on level 2 bets, you usually would feel comfortable staying at the $2 bet. Because if you get a win now, we're going to be pretty close to restarting. So here we go. We reduce back down. And we did get a win. So that's fantastic. So let's rebet. And we're going to take that off. And yes, I know I cost myself money by doing the reduction, but I'm trying to show you the little nuances. So let's take a look. We're at $24 right now. And I'm going to beat this again. If you're looking for a $25 mini game, you're done. You understand that? You're done. You're not playing this for another extra dollar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are now below the threshold of 10. And we do a restart. So let's delete everything. Let's call this a mini game session. You're close to 25 units, right? And now we come back to play session number 2. So this time, again, you can play any 15 that you want. So this time I'll play the zeros. So you guys can see that you can play the zeros if you want. And this time we're going to do a more random approach so that you can see you can certainly do that, right? Like this. Oops, that's not what I want. Let's see. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need 15. That's 12. That's 13. That's 14. And that's 15. There we go. Let's go. All right. And of course, I picked the wrong one there. So we're going to rebet, and we're going to have to go up, right? Because we missed. And here we go. And there we go. All right. So let's rebet, and let's remove the 1-4. And again, we're on level 2. We have a lot of coverage, though, because remember, we still have everything out there except for one split. So we're definitely not going to go down now. Ooh, not good. So we're going to rebet, and we're going to double again. So now you're going to see this thing get pushed a little bit. And you're definitely going to see it get pushed. So that's 2 losses in a row, which doesn't happen very often when you have this much coverage. So we're going to double again. So now we're getting a little bit nervous. At least I would. All right. So we have a big win there, right? Big win there, but we're still down. And that's the way it works with these type of strategies, unfortunately. When you're doing this, it feels so different than the dozens and the columns. So we're actually down. So here we go. So we are definitely going to, I would not stay at this level. Okay, what was that? 35. So we're going to remove that. Now, I'm going to tell you, Most people that show any type of reduction strategy, they're going to say, well, you're down 37. Oh my God. And you have to stay at this level. I'm not so sure about that. So we're going to teach you a ladder strategy for this that you can do, and this is in your bag of tricks, right? Your bag of tricks. So what you would do if you're up this high, right, and you're not comfortable with it, if it was at $2, I wouldn't do a damn thing. But we're at $8 a bet now, right? So you can ladder down like we show in other types of strategies. So how much do you want to ladder, right? So here's the deal. There's multiple things that can happen here, right? We can continue in this vein, or, right, and then drop these, let's say, by $2. So now they're at $6 each. Or we can go down to $5 or even less, $4. That's where your flexibility comes in as to what you're comfortable with, right? I'm going to show you another way of handling it. So when I get up multiples like this, where we had that real big bump in the road 2 or 3 times where we had to go up, I'm going to show you what I normally do. Now, you can just drop these down and continue on the reduction with these and drop these down to $6, $5, whatever you want, right? I'm going to show you another way of doing it just to give you another approach. We're going to delete these as if we were starting from square one because it makes it easier for me. I'm going to keep the zeros and I'm going to restart. But now I'm going to restart at $3. So I'm going to drop way down. And that's another approach. So you can continue doing the reduction exactly the right way and just drop those down, or you can restart and drop down with new ones at any time. So I'm just showing you the benefit of having flexibility and being able to do multiple different things. Whoops, that's not good. Right? There's many ways to play. There isn't one way, as you see in some of these YouTube videos where they say, you've got to do this and you've got to double for the rest of your life. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay? How much is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we need one more. You know I'm going to pick the wrong one, so it doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we reset with 15 splits, but we know that we were on a losing streak and we lost. So now I just use the alternate method of resetting at 15, but going up a few levels to try to make up for the money. You can do that, or you can continue the way you were doing it. Okay, so there's a win, right? So what we can do is we're going to rebet and we're going to keep our reduction strategy going, right? And now that ate into our little loss, right? And do you see how staying at that $8 level was putting your bankroll at risk? Because this is a double up strategy, and you know how I feel about that. So I turned what was a double up strategy into something that's a little easier to swallow. I made it that you could use a ladder approach. All right, so let's keep going. $23. Oh, $30. All right, that's another win. Let's remove that, and we're still within, the distance. We have to keep reducing. I don't think we've seen a 0, have we? Okay, there's another win. So you see how you're getting on a bit of a streak here. Let's remove the 23. And now let's do a quick count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoops. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have to keep going. And by the way, we're almost back to break even, and we'll talk about that. Okay, there's another win. Rebet, delete. Okay, so we're back up 17 again, right? So again, understand the flexibility and how you're trying to keep your bankroll intact with less volatility. That could mean, now that we're getting down to less coverage, that we can reduce back to $2 or $1. So what we can do is this. And we can go back to 1 if we wanted to. You could keep it at 2 if you wanted, right? Whatever you want. The point is, this is not a rule-based scenario where it's putting your chips, your bankroll in jeopardy. That's the whole freaking point, okay? These people that show you that you're doubling and doubling and doubling, they just don't have a clue what they're talking about. There is no reason. Have we had any real stress? Yeah, we had a few losses in a row. What did we do after that? Did we allow it to keep hurting us? No. We had multiple concepts that we could do. So here we go. Wow, this thing is spinning forever. There we go. We finally got one of the zeros. For all those people that absolutely think zero is a big deal, now you can jump up and down and say, look, look, look. See, I told you, you have to cover the zeros. Yeah, once out of how many spins? Okay. But we did it because you wanted to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we still have the ability to do one more. If we win, then when we reduce, then we reset. Then it's a reset point. And by the way, look where we're at, 24. And we lost that one though. Oops. So we're going to rebet and we're going to do our double. But we were at 20, back to 24. And there's a win. There we go. So here you go. We are going to delete that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's time for a reset because we are below 10. So we delete all. We're back to where we were plus about $6, right? After that little bump in the road. So it's not a big deal. So let's do it one more time. And I guess you guys are going to get the understanding of this. We'll cover the zeros again. Let's do this. You can pick certain zones of the board. You can do anything you want. 6. Let's do 7, 8, 9, 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Oop, sorry, 14. And we'll make this one 15. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We need one more. We'll do 15, right? And wait a minute. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. Wow, this thing is spinning forever. I guess I'm used to hitting the button on the other one. And there's a loss right at the beginning. And I actually, what I found in testing this for a long time is that the losses at the beginning are actually not the worst. because at least you're going up to the second bet level with massive coverage, right? And you can do that ladder approach, so you don't have to get too nervous. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to rebet. We're going to delete that. And we're going to stay at the $2 level. And we'll keep rolling. There's another win. And keep rolling. Tight profit targets with this one are a must. And resetting as quickly as you can. Okay, there's another one. So we're going to rebet and we're going to take that off the board. And we're still fine. Here we go. And we're still at that $2 level. Let's see if we can put a few wins together. Okay, that's a good one. All right, we still should be good. We're at 51 now. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And let's go ahead and spin. Oh, and this is, let me give you again, okay? We're at $51 profit. If we were looking for $25 mini games, we're there, right? For the second mini game. So this would be, and also we've reduced quite a bit here, right? So I would definitely, this is one of those ladder situations, just to show you guys how I play. And this is the difference between what you see on, the way you see other people playing, where they're just refusing to play tight. And they're gonna just keep playing at the higher levels, and then they wonder what the deal is. Uh-oh. You know what? Yeah, that was there. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. I thought I pulled something off and put it back in the wrong place. But they refuse to play smart. They have to stay at the nosebleed levels. And then they wonder why their volatility of their bankroll goes through the freaking roof. Okay, so I reduced back down. We're at 51 right now. So we basically have already made our 2 mini game profits. And there we go again. So we're going to take that off, right? And we're at 58. So that would be the end of the ride for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could play one more or you would do a reset. Obviously, if I made 2 mini game win targets already, I would basically just do a reset. Now, here's the other side of the story that I have to make clear. When you hit with less of the splits out there, you're making more money per win, right? Because you're not putting down as much money. So just understand that even though I play it tight, as you're getting down to that, 11, 10 splits, right? You're making more money when you hit, but you're also taking more risk because you have a lot more open areas, right? So this would be it for me. This would be it for me. And then I would come back and restart later, or if I haven't already done 2 or 3 sessions. But let me just show you. Forget about what happens. Let's play this out, right? Let's just see what happens. You see? So now you have a loss. Not a big deal. I'm not saying it's a big deal. And you would have to double. But you have a lot more open areas. See? That's 2 now. So do you see how sometimes the restart is the proper thing to do because you're protecting your profits as well. We have to double again. And I'm not saying these couldn't have been wins. Ah, look at that. You just let all your profit go away. Okay? All your profit just went away. And look where you're at now in terms of the bets. I walked away with $58. Look at this. Another loss. Now you're down $92 when you were walking away and cashing with 58. So that's the moral of the story. You can play it as if it's concrete rules, and this is where sometimes you get to. Or you can play it smart. Now, you have to do the double ups when you're starting, when it's early on and you have the 15 out there, the 15 splits. I understand that. But remember, when you have 15 or 14 splits out there, the coverage is way greater. So when you start reducing the splits, kind of play it smart. Know where you are for the session and for the day if you're playing multiple sessions. And do the right thing like I did. Reduce back, go back to the reset point. Don't force the bets. If you're at a nosebleed level, drop them down. Or do a full reset and go back to a full 15 splits. But you can start on a higher level because you have more of them covered. Right? So when we got in trouble, what did we do earlier? We went back to a full 15 splits, but we didn't go back to $1. We started at $3. It's a balancing routine. So you don't have to play it by the book with your eyes closed. That's how I do the reduction strategy, the split reduction. Okay? It's a smarter approach to an interesting bet strategy. When you play it straight, the volatility is like this. You didn't see the volatility like this when I was playing it my way. But when I played it the straight way, and we're not below 10 yet, and we have to keep doubling because we lost, well, this is what can happen to you. So you're going to get really good at making those decisions, because when you simulate this, it's going to be so clear to you that my little nuances that I've taught you in this make it far less volatile if you approach this from a get in and get out, hit and run, $20, $25 if you're playing with $1, $30 if you want to push it, and that's it. Okay? In terms of the bankroll, you have to do your own due diligence and simulate to determine what a quality bankroll is, because of the different variables that I've given you in the way that I play. The bankroll is very different, as you could possibly tell here. If you're going to play this out straight and not force a reset or not use a ladder approach to the bets, you're going to need a lot bigger bankroll. That's the way it goes. But if you play it my way, the bankroll is definitely reduced. Now, I'm not telling you to play this with dollar bets and have no money and not have the correct bankroll. I'm just telling you that overall, you're going to find that your bankroll requirement is way less. So this is the split reduction system, and it is a greatly improved version of what you may have seen before. There is other reduction systems that people use for streets and things like that. We may or may not be including one of those in this package. So we will see how it goes. And this is a great little fun system if you play it tight. All right? So that's it. That is system number 4, split reduction. And we will see you on the next video.